So corporations and institutional investors are involved in Bitcoin on a scale that we've never seen before. But with longer term corporate and institutional investors, we do not know what their behavior will be when markets crash big time. Now, also remember, a lot of people have locked up their Bitcoin in loans, which means that when those loans get on the wrong side, so if you are lending your Bitcoin and you have collateralized, for example, maybe you've got 150% of the Bitcoin and you've borrowed some of that Bitcoin or cryptocurrency or whatever it may be, then when the market crashes by over 50%, I say when because it inevitably does happen, then you get all of those people that end up having to sell their Bitcoin, even though they never wanted to, just simply because of the nature of the product and the collateral that we're in right now. That creates taxable events for those people that may have been borrowing. So if you are borrowing against your crypto, just something to be aware of, but that also creates some forced dynamics in the market where the crypto lending platforms may have to liquidate many of that collateral. Also, the difference in the markets that we're in now that we haven't been in before is institutional and corporations. And we're not sure at this stage, while everyone will tell you the bull case, and I believe in the bull case, I also want to give you the realism because I believe that there's power in being prepared so that you are unshakable about what comes next, because I've seen it many, many times. But here's the new dynamics. Institutions and corporations will have risk management strategies. And those risk management strategies will say that they may need to either rebalance their portfolio after a significant crash, and which means that they may end up buying the dips, or they may have a risk management strategy which forces them to liquidate that Bitcoin. And we don't know how they're going to behave because this may be their first bear market that they experience when it comes. The bear markets are the most interesting time to be purchasing and investing in Bitcoin. So what do I do in bear markets? Well, I do nothing different in the bull market than what I do in the bear market. So when the great Bitcoin crash comes along, which I can't wait for, while everybody is depressed, while everybody is getting rid of their Bitcoin, I'll be doing exactly the same, but by dollar cost averaging in and ignoring the price, you get to buy it all the way down at cheaper prices. Dollar cost averaging in a continual bull market is not a good strategy. You need corrections and you need crashes in order to accumulate more Bitcoin at the expense of the fudsters, at the people that don't have the strong hands, and the people that were just here to make a quick buck, listening to traders, listening to YouTube videos telling you when you need to buy, when you need to sell. When the Bitcoin crash comes, you got to get yourself in an environment where you are completely excited about it, like I have been after being through many of these Bitcoin bear market cycles. Now, I'm not saying that a crash is coming just around the corner, because it looks like you don't want to fight against the trend as well. And many people will be waiting, saying, I'm not buying up here, but that is also just as dangerous as being scared of the bear markets. So we have a psychological belief, and I've seen it for over a decade now in Bitcoin, that everybody believes that they have missed the boat, that the price is too high. And every time you're involved in Bitcoin, when the price is reaching new all-time high, like we are experiencing right now, and then it does one of the major crashes, which Bitcoin has done, expect it, inevitable, predictable, guaranteed, get ready for it, get excited for it. When it comes, then people are like, oh, I'm glad I didn't buy that Bitcoin, and then they never end up buying it. But if you look at the chart of Bitcoin, all I see is a 12-year bull market with incredible opportunities to accumulate Bitcoin at cheaper prices as the world discovers the value of owning your own money, spending your own money, and having a fixed money supply that is completely counter to the traditional financial sector of the world's largest Ponzi scheme that is called the dollar, the euro, the pound, the yen, and all the other fiat currencies. But most people will be, will be scared, and they will be doing that. But the opportunity to accumulate at cheaper and cheaper rates is where the money is made for those thinking long term. And the utility, it's basic supply and demand. At the moment, the supply of Bitcoin is very, very small relative to how many people are trying to onboard and acquire some of that Bitcoin. So this is when everybody's trying to buy at the same time as everybody else. When you want to be, well, firstly, you don't want to change your strategy, not financial advice, but that's not what I do. I do the same thing in the bull market and same thing in the bear market so that I don't have to be at the mercy of trying to guess the tops and bottom, which is a losers and fools game. You want to be consistent throughout, but you get to buy a lot more Bitcoin when everybody is trying to sell it, when everybody is scared, and when nobody is realizing that there is value in owning your own money, spending your own money, and having that fixed supply. So the great Bitcoin crash is coming. I'm not going to tell you exactly when it is. I might have my opinions when it is, but the crypto market and the Bitcoin market tends to surprise people on many occasions. But utilize it for what it is. It is a manipulation normally from market insiders trying to squeeze out traders, some of the fundamental beliefs around people's desire to own their own money, spend their own money, and have a fixed supply, shifting and pushing the supply and demand in your favor. And so when the demand to sell is a lot greater, then it's a lot easier for you to suck up some of that supply. But I'm also not encouraging you to wait for that, because I've seen it so many times. And I've seen it when Bitcoin feels toppy. And I've seen people celebrate when Bitcoin hits $10, when Bitcoin hits $1. I've seen people celebrating. Bitcoin crash will come. It's inevitable, predictable, guaranteed. There's probably a lot further to go. Enjoy the ride, but it will come eventually. You want to get yourself as prepared as possible with a long-term investing strategy. Leave the traders to get wrecked, do what they do, and be manipulated by the insiders. And 3, get excited about the bear market. The bear market is when others are fearful and you can be unshakable and accumulating a life-changing amount of wealth. But make sure you're separating your spending money from your investment money so you can ride it out. You don't want to be one of those people that has to sell their Bitcoin to pay their rent, sell their Bitcoin on the wrong side of the market in order to pay some taxes or something in their next tax return because they didn't really plan this stuff out.